The culture of compassion or indifference, led Pope Francis highlighted that the parable of the rich man and Lazarus is a warning against indifference and culture of waste, emphasizing that God's mercy is linked to our own mercy for the poor. At this moment, I am reminded of a story. A man died and arrived before the judgment seat of God. God looked through the pages of the book of life and failed to find the man's name. Therefore, he told the man that his place was in hell. The man was shocked and surprised. He asked God, "What wrong did I commit?" "I did nothing." To that, God replied saying, "Precisely that's why you are going to hell, for you did nothing." My dear friends, this man could be compared to the rich man in the parable. The passage does not mention any fault of the rich man, but if we analyze the reason why the rich man was sent to hell, we know for sure that he did nothing. Today's readings are about not being selfish. They tell us to share our blessings and help those in need. We should live a life of faith and compassion and not a life of greed. The first reading is about wealth and complacency. It criticizes those who are comfortable and indifferent to the suffering around them. It shows that God sees and judges our indifference, especially when we ignore others' needs while living in luxury. In the second reading, St. Paul urges Timothy to pursue righteousness, godliness, faith, love, steadfastness, and gentleness. This theme tells us that living a good life involves more than avoiding bad actions. It also requires actively cultivating virtues. In the Gospel, the parable about the rich man and Lazarus illustrates that our actions have consequences beyond this life. It teaches us that how we treat others, especially those in need, influences our eternal destiny. What's our takeaway from today's liturgy of the word? First, awareness and compassion. The readings condemn complacency and indifference. The rich man in the parable is not punished for being wealthy, but for failing to see and care for the suffering man Lazarus right at his door. We are called to be attentive to the needs of those around us, especially the poor, the marginalized, and to act with compassion. For example, I am in a coffee shop and notice an elderly person struggling to carry his tray. Instead of just watching, I need to get up and help him out. Second, the danger of greed. Both the first reading and the gospel warn us against the dangers of materialism and selfishness. The readings show that excessive focus on wealth and personal comfort can lead us to spiritual blindness and a disregard for our neighbors, ultimately leading to our downfall. The core message is that wealth should be used to help others and not accumulated for our self-indulgence. For example, I receive a bonus at work. Instead of spending it all on a new gadget or luxury item, I can decide to use portion of it to donate to a local charitable institute or trust I care about. Third, true faith is active. The second reading from 1 Timothy emphasizes that true faith is not passive. It calls us to pursue righteousness, devotion, faith, love, patience, and gentleness. This means that our faith must be put into action through good deeds and generosity, especially towards those in need. It's a reminder that a life of faith is a life of service and charity. For example, if the church or community I belong organizes a volunteer day to clean up a local park, then I make time in my busy schedule to participate, showing my commitment through action, not just words. Am I ready to be compassionate, avoid greed, show my commitment and faith through my action rather than in words? Have a compassionate Sunday. Live Jesus.